What's up, buddy? How's it going? Have you been playing with the new Avatar Magic the Gathering cards? If so, and if you've delved into the set deeply enough, this comic is probably pretty relevant to you right now. It's one of my favorite card game comics because it's so true. Here we have Horfdaken, World Shaker. If your opponent blinks, you win and he loses. Infinite power, infinite defense. The seasoned card game player goes, "This is a card for rookies. This is terrible." Then he sees Raccoon, which says you may eat garbage for free during your turn. 1 power, 2 toughness. And his face sinks. And he goes, "This is the most powerful card ever printed." And it's been shown time and time again. They print a little baby dork card. You think, oh, it couldn't possibly be a problem. Next thing you know, it's destroying entire formats, as we are seeing from Badgermole Cub, currently selling in its base form, just a regular Mythic Rare, $55, if not more. If you get the fanciest possible treatment, the borderless foil, what are you going to end up paying for that? $88 for a little tiny Badgermole. And this is a big problem. We got to talk about this. We got to talk about how Wizards... At this point, the game is greed. The Wizards of the Coast greed, Hasbro greed. It's like you want to believe that they have the best intentions at heart. That, oh, we truly care about the game. We want the game to grow. But they don't. They care about making as much money as humanly possible. And how do we know this? Well, we know this because they've said it themselves. They've said things. Creators of the game, specifically think of Mark Rosewater, we're going to take a look at him. They've said things where they said, we know how to make a great game. Here's how to make a great game. That was about 10, 15, 20 years ago they said that. Now they say the exact opposite because secretly they just want to make a bunch of money. Now, why? Well, real quick, we'll talk about this card. Why is this card so good? Explosive starts. When it comes into play, you earthbend 1. That means you make a land into a creature with a 1/1 counter on it. That doesn't sound crazy. Well, next thing you know, whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green. So next, your forest is now tapping for 2. As somebody pointed out to me, the way earthbending works is when the creature goes to the graveyard, it comes back. So if you earthbend a fetch land, you crack the fetch, what do you know it? The fetch land is back on the yard again. Very powerful interaction there. And really, you can just get these explosive fast mana starts to the point where I'm seeing basically every green deck. I don't know if every green deck, but I'm seeing so many people brewing with this thing. It's like so many different green decks need this guy. Because at the end of the day, it's 2 mana for a guy who's putting turning your land into a creature that taps for more mana into a creature that could potentially start beating. Or again, if it dies, fetch land comes back. There's just so many interactions with this guy. But here's the problem. This is a Mythic Rare. That's the reason you got to pay $80 for it. If it was a regular rare, price would probably be something reasonable, something like $20-25. And it's interesting because you go, well, what are the other Mythic Rares? Real quick, what are the other Mythic Rares in Avatar? Let's take a look. And we'll sort them from high to low. Again, okay, a legendary owl creature, something from the show. Ozai, the Phoenix King, Aang himself, the mythical walls. This all makes sense to me. Legends, these legendary sagas, a giant fireball. Okay, those all make sense as a Mythic Rare. Why the fuck is this tiny little raccoon baby a Mythic Rare? Mythic Rares, as we understand, they're the ultra rares. For those of you who don't play Magic, the ultra rare, super rares of the Magic world are supposed to be for big, explosive, face characters, planeswalkers, huge, crazy spells, the most powerful effects out there. Though in recent years, it kind of seems like Wizards is just going, hey, is that card really powerful? Is that going to be in a lot of decks? Maybe we should bump it up to Mythic Rare. Why? Because then people got to crack more packs to try and get it. Then it's a chase rare. Then everyone's going to go nuts for it. Here's why this is so crazy to me, is I remember very distinctly when they first announced Mythic Rares with Shards of Alara. And everybody got worried. We're like, oh, great. Now there's going to be ultra rares, and we're not going to be able to build the decks we want. And Mark Rosewater made us feel really good because he explained what Mythic Rares are. Now, luckily, I was able to find this article from all the way back in 2008. I was 2 years out of high school when this article came out. College boy I was when this article came out. The year of living changerously. Now, there's two fascinating things that I noticed in this article. The Mythic Rare problem we're going to touch on, but there's another one in here that is also fucking hilarious. Now, he says there's been a big official announcement, a lot of different changes. I think, again, just the two big changes. Well, we'll get into it. He says the key thing we need is better ways to grow the game by bringing in new players. Okay, new players. You know what? Makes a lot of sense. Every card game, we want more people playing it. The more people playing the card game, the better the game is. They can print more sets. They can, well, I don't know if print more sets is the solution, but they can just keep the game going. They can have a bigger tournament scene, more prizes, better artwork. You know, money in Hasbro's pocket, theoretically, is good news for us, the player of the game. It means the game gets better. So what was going on back in 2008? Well, here's what's fucking hilarious. And real quick, Magic release schedule. They got Star Trek on there now. Let's see if we can find the image. So, as we've all been discussing, Jesus Christ, how many sets can you possibly print in a year? Starting in January, we got Lorwyn. March, anniversary, I think this is TMNT. So, we're going from Lorwyn to TMNT. Back to Strixhaven. I love Strixhaven. I'm always excited when we're in actual Magic land. Not Magic. TMNT, not Magic. Marvel, not Magic. The Hobbit. In June, we got Marvel. Lord of the Rings coming back. Sell your One Rings now, guys. They're going to reprint One Ring. They're going to reprint Orcish Bowmaster. They're going to reprint Mithril Coat. All that stuff's going to go down in price. I think now's the time. If you got any extras you're not using, sell them. Reality Fracture. I don't know exactly what's going on there. And then we're going to Star Trek because we're never gonna have Magic sets ever again. Just endless slop. Endless slop until hopefully they realize, why are you guys doing Marvel superheroes? I don't think TMNT is going to be a dog. The Magic players have proven if it doesn't really fit the lore, people aren't that interested. And I think Spider-Man, even though Spider-Man was weak, I think also people go, I don't want superhero cards. I don't want New York cards. It doesn't fit in the game. All right, so here's all the sets that are coming out. You go, oh, okay, so they must have decided that printing as much fucking dog shit as possible is the best way to grow the game. That's interesting, because back in 2008, what did Mark Rosewater say? We're printing fewer cards per year. And this is crazy when you read the numbers here. We will print fewer cards during the Shards of Alara year than we ever printed any Magic year, only 519. Can you imagine only having 519 cards every year? So simple. You know the sets, you know the cards in and out. There's not 18 fucking sets with 200 cards each. 519 cards. But why, Mark? Why would you print less cards? Because clearly, look, print as much fucking shit as you can. That's what gets people playing, right? Well, here's the problem. If new players... hold on. As we examine the barriers for entry to the game, we realize the speed of release of new cards was front and center. If new players quickly get overwhelmed, they tend to walk away, never to return. A new player trying to get into the game has the same hurdles that all new players have historically, but when entering this July, faces a standard environment of over 2,100 cards. Oh, only that? I don't know how many cards are in standard right now. Remember, now standard is what? Like a 3-year rotation, 4-year rotation? I cannot imagine trying to be a new Magic player playing standard. I think the solution is actually, yeah, don't play standard. You're not gonna figure it out. Maybe your buddy can loan you a deck, but I don't see any new players getting into standard. It's too much. What do you gotta do? You gotta go back 10 sets to get the cards you need. Made sense back in 2008. If you print a lot, people get overwhelmed. Isn't that crazy? You would think Final Fantasy was not that long ago. You had a chance. A lot of new players came with Final Fantasy. And immediately, you didn't even let them get used to playing the game, finding tournaments, learning how to play. Like, you could have gave them months. Instead, you immediately hit them Spider-Man, Edge of Eternity. Now we're getting an Avatar. And they go, oh, man, there's too much going on. I can't keep up. I thought this was simple. It's 1 million sets every year. I got to keep getting new cards. I don't have time for it. Second reason for the change was feedback from existing players. We were printing feedback from existing players. You don't like that anymore. You do surveys now, or you complain about us taking the survey. We were printing too many cards. Established players were having issues keeping up. We simply went too far. We were printing too many cards. Well, Mark Rosewater, you can change this article now to say, what we realized is we love money, so we're printing as much dog shit as we possibly can. Here's what's more important, though. Oh, they're both important, but this is the one I really wanted to touch on. Change 2, we're adding a new rarity called Mythic Rare. Again, he uses a bad excuse. He says, well, it's the industry standard. It's very important. You know, you need to have Mythic Rare. Well, you don't really need it, but it's a way to make more money. I get it. And it does add to the collectability of the game to make certain cards more scarce. Very exciting. Gets people excited. Okay. How are cards split between rare and mythic rare? Now, this is why I wanted to make this video. What kind of cards are going to become mythic rares? So, here we got a little tiny baby mole, 2/2. Makes a little forest into a thing that, I mean, if we really get down to it, it's a monodork. It's a fancy land war elf. In a perfect world, this would be an uncommon. It's a card that helps you generate mana. Yeah, okay, rare. It's a Birds of Paradise. Put it at rare. Gilded Goose. All the rare monodorks. We've seen so many rare monodorks. You got there's like a raccoon or an otter or something that's in standard right now. A Land War Loam Speaker I was running for a while. We've seen 2-mana monodorks before. They've all been at rare. Why is this one a mythic? Well, let's find out, Mark Rosewater. What should be a mythic rare? Let's see. We want the flavor of Mythic Rare to be something that feels very special and unique. That means cards like Planeswalkers, Legends, and epic-feeling creatures and spells. Not just a list of each set's most powerful tournament-level cards. That's Mark. Marky Mark. Marky Mark and your funky bunch. It's so crazy to hear you go, well, we're not just going to take the most powerful tournament cards and make them mythic. That's exactly what you fucking did. That's exactly what this fucking is. It's not a big fucking splashy legend. It's not a planeswalker. It's not a crazy spell. It's a little fucking badger. And you guys sat down and you said, shit, we got to make sure the Avatar set sells like crazy. Well, we've printed this fucking insanely overpowered 2-drop for green. Just bump it up to Mythic Rare because then everybody has to buy more booster packs. It's like this would be less insidious if you didn't say right here, oh, not going to just be the most powerful tournament cards. Okay. The largest category, we don't want to do it with utility cards, cards that fill a universal function like dual lands, cards like Mutavault. Okay, I'm going to make the argue that this is kind of a utility card. It just slots into green decks and makes mana. All the green decks want to play this guy. This is a utility card. Now, it is a very powerful utility card that's getting played in a lot of decks. But this card should not be mythic. It is like the only reason it's mythic. If you put a gun to Mark Rosewater's head, don't do that. But if you did, and you said, why is it mythic? He would say, we really needed to make sure the Avatar set sold really well. And we tested it out, and we found out that this card was the most powerful card in the set, obviously. I don't even think it's an argument at this point. And we said, this is the most powerful card. Let's just make it a mythic. Everyone will fight over it, and we'll make more money. Will Mythic Rares have premium foils? Who cares? Whatever else. All right, Mark. I understand I'm throwing out a lot of information at once, but I want you to know we believe it's in the best interest of the long-term health of the game. Well, we want to know what you think about all these changes. Well, here's what I want you to do, guys, because Mark wants to hear what you think about these changes. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go and take a screenshot of this. I want to take a screenshot of this. Generally speaking, we expect this to mean cards like Planeswalkers, Epics, creatures, and spells. Screenshot this, send it to Mark Rosewater, and go, hey, cocksucker. Don't call Mark Rosewater a cocksucker. Go, hey, Mark Rosewater. How the fuck is Badgermole Cub a mythic rare? And Mark, I gotta say, I know you're not gonna answer the question, but you know what? He can be an honest guy when he gets a gun to his head. If he was an honest, you know what? He's not an honest guy. He's not gonna answer honestly. He'll go, well, we just thought it was such an exciting effect. Just say, with a gun to your head, it was the most powerful card in the format, so we made it a mythic because we wanted everybody to crack booster packs all day long. So, look, it's not good precedent for Magic. Again, I look at the rest of the mythics. It all makes sense. Legend of Yenshin, Legend of Roku, even a big fancy, make a million creatures effect. Okay, this is all stuff that makes sense at Mythic. But Badgermole Cub is a Mythic Rare. It's a slap in the face. It's a money grab. I'm not shocked I'm not shocked that they said, hey, we need Avatar to sell. And let's be real, most of the other mythics I think are going to keep dropping in price. I haven't seen a lot of this stuff getting played. How many walls of boss? I know all the toughness matters players are excited about walls of Bossang Sea, but at a certain point, everybody's got their walls of Bossang Sea. If you got one of these, sell it now. It's not holding at $36. It's not that good. This should not be a mythic rare, and that's the bottom line. Guys, if you like Magic cards, what can I tell you? I got Magic cards like crazy. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. My desk is a mess. We have set up on Whatnot. We're going to be doing the big encyclopedia break. We have the entire Encyclopedia of Magic, Demonic Consultation, Urza Saga, Phyrexian Altar. We got some collector's packs, some mystery boosters. We're going to be running that on Whatnot probably Friday, Black Friday. So come on by. Go to whatnot.com/invite/veto if you're not already a Whatnot member. You'll get $15 to spend. $15. Come join the stream or buy from anybody. I don't care. But if you come join the stream, take a spin on the wheel, you might take home a free Urza Saga with your $15 free credit. And please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to keep this channel going strong. It really helps when you guys subscribe. Okay. $80 Badgermole Cub. I don't think it's coming down anytime soon. Seeing that card in a lot of decks. People are already talking about banning it. They're saying it's the next Vivi. We'll see if it comes to that. Bye-bye.